Hi, I'm Rob and this is another TW White & Sons video review. Today's vehicle is a Mazda CX-3. So this is our small SUV car from Mazda. This particular vehicle, a CX-3 2 litre petrol 4-cylinder. It's 120 horsepower. This is a sport nav automatic front wheel drive. Looking lovely in eternal blue. So a recently acquired car into stock. The car has a really nice service history. This car was last serviced in October 24, so it's not needing anything until well into this year. Of course, being 25 already. Okay, has an MOT to around March this time, but of course we will refresh the MOT before the car leaves for sale. So with the sport trim, we have privacy glass, some really nice 18-inch alloy wheels which are diamond cut. So you've got a black and silver contrast, which accompanies the grey mouldings, which is like a ring of plastic around the car. So if anyone's going to open their door upon yours, it should hit unpainted plastic, not door or bodywork. At the front, we have automatic lights, front fog lights, and the chrome sport grille with the famous signature wing through Mazda's Kodo design. With keyless entry, of course, power folding mirrors in the in position at the moment with indicators built into them as well. So as we head round to the back again, you'll note there's a rear camera for the car and rear parking sensors, all standard fit to this particular grade. So entering the boot, just touch the panel just underneath the boot lid there, and then you're presented with a split level boot. So you have a 60-40 split to fold the seats down to a completely flat position. This lifts up for more storage below and can indeed be dropped down to the lower level if needs be. That moment when you wish you'd taken someone out. All right, there we go. And then as we lift up, you will be exposed to a space saver spare wheel with the Bose audio system, which is part of the sport nav trim. So that'll make your audio sound really nice and punchy. Once you've paired the phone, you can stream your own music, and of course this particular car has got Apple CarPlay as well, which is a cable operated function. Parcel shelf that easy to remove, and then you completely fold down the seats for more room. Let's shut that down. So entering into the back of the car, sport nav trim is a partial leather and partial cloth mix. So you have 3 3-point belts. There is ISOFIX, which is available for children's safety seats on the left and right side, but not in the middle. And there's even original Mazda mats still in the vehicle. But yeah, really nice with red detail, which is obviously contrasting with the red doors on both sides, brightening up the interior somewhat. Coming into the car, into the driver's side, now you're presented with the control pack, which will also have power folding mirrors, proudly displaying its Bose audio symbol. And then you're presented with the sporty driver's seat, which is again leather and cloth mix, fully adjustable in a manual way, as is the steering wheel for reach and rake, which is a nice leather bound wheel. And we'll go into the cabin and explain some of the features. So once you're in, we're presented with more red contrast. So this is on the air vents as a signature, some knee pads which you can brace against, and of course onto the passenger and driver's doors. There's even a nice bit of chrome detail running through which hides the air vents to a degree. But when you're ready to start a CX-3, just hidden behind here, put your foot hard on the brake, being an automatic, press it once, and that'll power the car into life. At which point you're presented with your digital displays. So we have left and right sided digital displays. This is predominantly for which gear mode you're in. Obviously mileage for the car, just recorded currently at just under 40,000 miles. This side is a digital display. On the left steering wheel spoke, you have an info button. So if I cycle through, we'll give things like average fuel, instantaneous, we're not moving, average speed. So the fuel is based on the average speed, which is just driving and maneuvering slowly. So that would resolve into a higher MPG. Range to empty, which is always a useful one to have. Then you're presented with an analog rev counter but with a digital speedo. And then I shall try and show you this. Hopefully you can see it flickering ever so slightly, but there's a head-up display. This little plastic screen pops up. There it is. I can barely see it, but it's flickering. We have automatic lights and we have automatic wipers too. Now the car, being an automatic with 6 gears, has a paddle change you can activate, which is to go up and down gears. Using the gear shifter here, You can bring it back into drive and even manually shift in a plus minus back forwards motion, almost touring car style. And then down here, if you wish the car to drive in a more energetic fashion, just put it into sport. That glows orange on there, and that will raise the shift points. It will rev a bit higher between gear changes, and it will drop multiple gears to drop the car into the right rev range. Coming across, the tablet display, which is touchable when you're stationary, but can't be touched when you're driving. At which point you revert back to the Mazda multimedia controller down here, with quick access buttons to various things that you would need quickly. So there's a home function, which will bring up everything that's available. Using the controller, which twists, goes north, south, east and west, so it's easy to use when you're not looking down. Coming back up, if you click on it, that allows you to connect for Bluetooth connectivity, so that would bring your data across and would stream music from one of your media players built in your phone. Having said that, coming down, this icon with the phone means if you plug in there, it will bring Apple and Android Auto up, at which point this will then show on there your mapping from your phone, your music streaming services, WhatsApp, basically most things that can be used on Apple or Android linked to your phone. We have a CD player, which is a rarity these days. So coming back into the controller, we have Mazda's inbuilt navigation. So assuming you haven't got your cable or your phone dies, then you've still got access to navigation. This runs off an SD card, which would need updating periodically. Just put it away, and there's a little card in there. And that will update the mapping as and when it's needed. Having said that, if you're going to use Apple and Android, your phone is always up to date, therefore your mapping is always up to date. We have some heated seat and steering wheel functions. So this is for the driver, this is for the passenger, with 3 different stages, and of course the steering wheel rim will heat. So in this weather, really quite a nice feature to have, as are the heated seats. Full climate control. Again, each increment on here is 1 degree C accurate, so it's pretty precise. You can full automatic mode as well, which will then do what it can to maintain the temperature you've picked on this side. Heated rear window, and that will operate in conjunction with the heated mirrors. So the mirrors, we touched on this earlier, are heated and power folding, and they're fully controlled from the driver's door card along with all your window controls. Some little switches here that are slightly out of view. So we have a stop and go function. The car has iStop, which is designed to come to time the engine off as and when you come to a halt in traffic. A couple of things need fulfilling. It needs some fuel in the vehicle, either fuel light not on, not be on a hill up or down, and the car up to full operating temperature. You've also got lane departure. So this will allow the car to detect drifting over white solid lines and will pull you back into lane, or alert you at least to your drifting. You can do something about it. Traction control, it's a front wheel drive vehicle, but it operates on all 4 wheels. It can brake the car to keep it stable, and it can reduce wheel spin from the front of the car. And lastly, a tyre pressure monitoring system, always quite useful. So we mentioned the head-up display earlier, flickering away as it is. So yeah, this is a really nice example of a CX-3. The back seems to be unmarked. There's no evidence of even child seats being mounted into here. So the leather is unwrinkled. The seats are not stained. There are no evidence of biscuits and crumbs. We have more storage here. And again, it's got the red highlights detailing through the door, the stitching on the seats, the padding on your seats here. So pretty nice. Last thing of note, we have an electrochromatic rear view mirror. That will dim itself and allow you to stop being dazzled by cars driving behind you. Bluetooth is standard, as I mentioned earlier, but again there's controls here on the steering wheel. You can also control the audio as well, change your track and volume, and this side is set up for both cruise control and a speed limiter function. Limiter function is quite good because again with lots of 20-mile-an-hour zones you can set it 20 and not exceed that speed, and it's difficult to modulate your speed sometimes at these very low speeds. Cars aren't designed to do 20, let's be real. However, the law says we must, so we must. So in conclusion, this is a Mazda CX-3 2 litre 120 horsepower sports nav automatic on a 2018 plate. It has had recent servicing in October 24, so not needed until 25, but will be due an MOT in March, at which point we shall re-MOT the vehicle before sale. The car's provided 1-year warranty, and of course it can be purchased using our dealer funding plans, and we'd like a part exchange, so don't hesitate to pick up the phone, make the call, come and see this really nice example of a CX-3. Thank you very much.